All right, guys, how are you? How is your Friday? How's your end to the week going? I'm excited to come on and to share with you guys some strategies for how you can increase your sales in Q4. Q4 is literally like one of the biggest sales opportunities if you are in business. So I'm excited to share with you, especially if you are a service-based business owner. I feel like it can be a lot easier if you're selling a product, but a lot of us who are out here selling services, we struggle when it comes to tapping into Black Friday or tapping into Christmas, Cyber Monday. We often sit by the wayside watching everybody else hoovering up all the opportunities. So I'm here to share with you some strategies around how you can sell more in Q4. So let me know, drop in the comments, let me know if you have a service-based business or a product-based business. That would be good for me to know who I'm speaking to. I generally attract female service-based business owners. If you don't fall into that category, you are absolutely welcome to stick around, because I'm sure there will be some insights, some value that you can glean from this conversation. So share this out if you have other people in your network who can benefit. I'm doing the same. I'm sharing this out with some other individuals who I think can benefit. So go ahead and do the same. All right, guys. So I'm excited to share with you. There's really, I think, what I've seen, like three main reasons why people struggle with selling in Black Friday, selling over the Christmas period when they are service-based business owners. So I have notes over here so that your girl doesn't take you down a rabbit hole, because I'm likely to do that. I can see some friendly faces have joined. Hey Malika, good to see you. Thank you so much for the hearts. Debs, how are you, lovely? Good to see you. Good to see you likewise, my lovely. How are you? I'm sharing some strategies for how you can sell more in Q4, especially if you're a service-based business owner. Q4 has the biggest opportunities for sales, I believe. You've got Black Friday, you've got Cyber Monday, you've got Christmas. So there's a lot that happens, but service-based business owners, Q4, quarter four, so the fourth quarter of the year. So September, October, November, December, Q4. So a lot of us sit on the sidelines being sold to, right? Our inboxes end up inundated with offers, all the things, and you're like, I don't know how to jump in. I don't know how to participate in all this goodness, right? So guys, share it out if you think there's somebody else who should be in this room who needs to hear this information. I have shared it as well, but I will do the same. And drop in the comments, let me know, do you have a service-based business or a product-based business? I was sharing earlier that in some senses, product-based businesses, it almost feels easier to sell during Black Friday, Christmas, all the things. But that's not to say that you cannot tap in, you cannot leverage. It is just about having a plan, a strategy, and being ready to monetize, being ready to move on the opportunities that are ahead. So I'm just sharing this out one last time before I get into the content. Before I get into what I want to share with you lovely people. All right, so I think I've done enough sharing. So what I need for you to understand is that, so Debs, you said I have a service-based business. Amazing, you are in the right place. Guys, drop in as well. Let me know if you have a service-based business or a product-based business. And like, have you ever sold during Black Friday? Do you have Christmas sales? Thank you so much for the roses. Do you ever put offers out during these sales opportunities? In January, sales in the UK, January sales are huge. I'm not so sure about in the US, but I remember growing up, like going to Oxford Circus for January sales on like New Year's Day. We'd be out in the cold, you know, to pick up all the bargains. Everything is online for the most part now. But it's an incredible opportunity, especially if you are in the business of transformation. So the service that you offer brings about a change, a transformation, a goal, the achievement of a goal, whether that's weight loss, starting a business, improving your business, improving your mindset. Those types of businesses do so well in the new year, in January. But if you don't have a plan to capitalize and to monetize on these opportunities, then you miss it, right? You're like, next year, right? So what I want to share with you will hopefully, thank you so much for the roses, Malika, I appreciate you. It will give you the opportunity to get more sales. So let me know, like, when was the last time you spoke about your offer? Just more broadly, let me know. Are you speaking about your offers regularly, or are you kind of popping up when you need to bring in some money and that's when you turn up? Or is there a consistent flow of sharing what you do, how you help? Even if you don't have a sale or an offer on, you're always speaking about the transformation that you offer or what it is that you do. I would love to know, because nobody likes it when we don't see or hear from you, but you pop up when you do have something to sell. Sales, in my mind, is about a relationship. It's about nurturing somebody over the line to make a purchase. People don't purchase if they have unanswered questions, right? So if you just pop up with this thing to sell, but you haven't handled the objections, you haven't answered the unasked questions, right? Because think of it, you're selling online. Unless somebody puts their hand up, contacts you, leaves a comment, how do you know that these questions are in the mind of your prospect? So we almost need to get into the mind of the prospect, think about the objections, the challenges, the things that they're saying to themselves, and handle those in our content in order to increase our sales, right? So I'm looking over here because I have some notes and I don't want to take you guys down a rabbit hole. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons for why I see many people missing out on opportunities for sales, why they have great offers but they're not selling them. And especially as we get into Q4, I want you guys to have a strategy, to have started early even with implementing that strategy, so you're not just popping up in November or on Black Friday saying, hey, I got this thing to sell, right? So the first reason is that to that exact point, you are launching too late. If the first time somebody has heard about your offer, your service, the thing that you solve for somebody is on Black Friday, you're too late. You've chosen like the biggest sales opportunity, the biggest sales period to promote your offer. Just know that you're going into it with everybody else, with a plethora of small business owners, big business owners, service-based, product-based, brick and mortar, online. Everybody is selling over Black Friday, over Cyber Monday, over Christmas, right? So know that you're going into a competitive time period. You're going into a competitive period of the year. So you have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy, and you have to have started early. I was doing some research. Do you know that the big businesses, the John Lewis's, the ASOS's, all of those guys have pages up already for November 2025, for Black Friday? So as Black Friday 2024 finished, they put pages up to direct people, to capture lead information, so that at the appropriate time, they could send messages out. They had people that were sat waiting to learn about their offers. So I say that to say, if you have not even thought about it, if you haven't started making preparations, creating your sales assets, creating the actual offer, if you haven't thought about who the offer's for, then you've absolutely left it too late. And I would say that what your Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas offer should look like, it shouldn't be your main thing, right? Your core offer, whatever it is that you sell as your core offer, your offer over this period should be something that leads them into that bigger offer, right? So drop in the comments, let me know, what do you guys sell? What is the service, the product that you are selling? Just like your core offer, what's the main thing? I would love to know, like, what it is specifically that you're selling. So you really do need a sales runway, time to build awareness. If you haven't been consistent with going live, perhaps with putting content out, with putting video content out, if you haven't been visible, then you're the best kept secret, and people can't buy from the best kept secret. If you are not almost, as I mentioned, speaking to your offers, so that it starts to sow seeds in the minds of people who have the problem. And often we have a problem and we sit on the fence and do nothing. They said it takes, I think it's 7 to 10 touch points for someone to make a buying decision, right? So if you have not had those touch points, you pop up in November trying to sell your Black Friday offer that chances are you pulled together that morning, it's unlikely that they're going to convert, because they're not warm to you. They don't know you. They know nothing about you. They know there's no credibility, there's no trust, right? So let me see if anyone has put in the chat what the service is that they sell or the product. No, I haven't seen anyone dropping anything in. Guys, drop it in as we're going, right? So you need a runway. You need to tease your offer, sharing with people what the transformation is. What is the problem that you're solving? Not just me telling you that I have a community and we have co-working every morning at 6 a.m. and we have weekly Q&As and. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. All these things are nice to know, nice to have, but I want to know what the transformation is. When you take my £600, what am I gonna, what's the change? Am I going to become more confident as a result of your teaching? Are you going to save me time as a result of you taking my bookkeeping off of my hands? Are you going to help me to make more money as a result of the strategies that you're teaching me? What is the transformation? What's the change, right? I'm here and I want to get here. What are you going to do to get me there? That's what people are interested in. So if your content isn't speaking, hey Sandra, good to see you. If your content isn't speaking to any of that, and content could look like posting on social media, content could look like your email marketing, it could look like hosting masterclasses, challenges, all those things are content types. And if you're not leaning into the results, the transformation, if you're not sharing case studies, people that you've worked with previously, what are the results that you've got for them, and positioning yourself in such a way that they buy into you and they buy into the service that you're selling. So yeah, I've said you need time to build awareness. You need to tease your offer. You don't have to continually talk about the thing, continually talk about the service, but maybe you're giving value, and then in between the value that you're giving, you are soft selling, mentioning the service, mentioning, oh, you know, I worked with a client and this was their issue and this is what I did. So someone who is sat in your live hearing you say that now starts to lean in a bit more to understand, oh, okay, so you solved this problem. You know, if you've solved that problem for that person, chances are you can solve it for me. Deb says, I take the admin processes out of admin for business owners so they can focus on business development. I love that. And to exactly that, right? What is the problem or aspiration? A lot of people only speak to problems, and I'll say this to you: when you only speak to problems, you call forward problem people. You call forward people that are just full of a bag of problems, right? So consider whether you want to do that, right? But maybe you speak to people who are scaling. I've got to this point in my business, I've plateaued and I want to get here. So they have an aspiration and you can help them to get to the next level. Those are not problem people. Those are people who have aspirations, a goal, and you, with your service, come alongside them with your expertise to get them to the next level. So think about that. Yeah, there is a time and a place to speak to problems, but when you're only ever calling out problems, you just attract problem people. I don't know if you guys have experienced that. Let me know in the chat. Creating anticipation, right? So as we journey towards Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, January sales, build anticipation, like get people excited for the offer that's about to come. You don't need to give all the tea, all the details, but I know that there are services and products that I am so excited for them to drop an offer over Black Friday. I'm literally like checking their website, because yeah, it's something that I'm keen to purchase. I might not want to make the full investment, but I want to see, like, if you're going to do an offer, right? So as a customer, as a consumer, there's anticipation. I don't know if there are particular brands that you buy from and you're like just on tenterhooks waiting for Black Friday to get in to whatever their offer is, to jump in and sign up for a particular thing. Even the tool that I use to stream across multiple platforms, I got into that in the Black Friday offer last year. Now I know when it renews next year, the price, I don't know, actually I'm assuming the price will go up to the regular price, or maybe they'll keep me on the Black Friday offer. But that was such a great investment, and they almost teased until the date that doors open and you could make use of the discount. So be sure to create anticipation, build people up. So yeah, let me know, have you thought about Q4 and what you're going to sell in quarter 4? Have you started to think about even seed sowing now, starting to call people forward, starting to let people know that, hey, look, we're in September, so October, November, generally campaigns, you can launch a campaign within a week, but if you've got 2 months, you could do it in a way that is, you're not burning yourself out, you're not stressing yourself, you're not banging people over the head like come by. You could do it in a more timely and self-paced way that just warms people up, gets them ready to make that purchase. So guys, talk back to me. Let me know, are you thinking about your Black Friday offers, your Cyber Monday, your Christmas? What does that look like? While I move on to the second reason why your offers are not landing, or maybe you're not making sales in these massive sales opportunities. So I would say that a lot of people are not building trust, they're not building credibility with their brand, right? So often we sit on the sidelines, we watch everybody else selling, we watch everybody else positioning themselves, and we're just waiting, praying, hoping that you'll get a Stripe notification that somebody out of the blue has purchased. Sales, unfortunately, takes work. It does, right? If you haven't been visible, if you haven't given value, if you haven't positioned yourself in such a way that when people are ready to buy, then yeah, it is not a surprise that you would struggle. And especially female entrepreneurs, a lot of us have this thing of, oh, I don't want to be salesy. I'm so fed up of hearing about I don't want to be salesy. Like, you are in business. What are we doing? Like, are we here for charity? Are we here for fun and sport? This whole I don't want to be salesy, it's wild. It is absolutely wild. I'm in business, and that's how business survives, by selling things. Like, make it make sense. I don't get it. If someone can help me to understand this, I don't want to be. And if you're coming at it from a place of every day, buy my stuff, banging people over the head, right? I get that. But there's a scale, right? And if you're at the end of the scale where you're not even mentioning your offers, you're not even inviting people to get their problems solved, you're not inviting people to get to the next level in that aspiration that they have, like, why? Is it because you don't trust the service or the product that you're offering? Maybe you are not confident that you can get them a result, so you keep quiet. And if that is the case, I prefer you keep quiet and work in the background on increasing your skill set, on increasing your expertise, going away and studying. The Bible says that we will study to show ourselves approved. Like, get yourself together. If it's not that and you're confident in what you're doing, why are you not talking about it? Why are you not offering it? If you know you can solve someone's problem, that I always use the analogy, if you had the cure for cancer, would you not be standing at the highest points shouting about it to solve this problem, to get people the resolution that they need? So yeah, I'm going down a rabbit hole, but it really, this whole I don't want to sell, then don't be in business. Don't be in business. I don't get it. I'm ranting. Give me some hearts, guys. Let me know if any of this is resonating. Let me know. Maybe you can help me to understand where this is coming from, that you go into business but you don't want to sell. Makes no sense to me, right? So that's one of the things. Like, I call it hiding in plain sight, right? You're like, I'm a business, I'm like hiding, no one could see me. Let me hide and keep quiet. So quietly waiting for people to buy from you is not gonna work. When you think about it, Coca-Cola, one of the biggest brands, are continually selling. They do campaigns, they do offers. At Christmas, they take over your TV. Everybody knows about Coca-Cola. They're not a surprise, but yet and still, they're selling. They're getting visible. They're talking about their thing. But we, who, are trying to get out of the 9 to 5, we're like, oh, I need to change my circumstances. I need to bring in an extra £1,000 a month. We want to keep our mouth closed. It's wild. Another thing is not posting, posting but not positioning yourself, right? So if you are just putting out quotes, if you are just reposting other people's content, especially over on LinkedIn, I see that all the time. People spend so long reposting other people's content. Nobody knows what you do, what problems you solve, who you've worked with, and the solution that you've got for them. But I know about Sally because you're always sharing Sally's stuff. I know about Jim because you're forever reposting his stuff, right? There's a time to repost because what you want to do is be a valuable resource. So by sharing insights in your industry, by resharing valuable content, there's a time and a place for that. But that cannot be the bulk of what you do. You need to position yourself as the subject matter expert. You need to position yourself as somebody who can get results. And even if you're just getting started, maybe the results that you've got have been for yourself, or maybe the results have been for a client that you've done pro bono work for, right? Whether you've been paid or not paid, you've got the results. So speak to those. So positioning is really important. Helping people to take action. Like, why is this important to solve? Why is it important for me to focus on delivery and outsource my admin? Why? Helping me to understand that. Like, why are you the best person to do that? There are many people offering similar services to you. Like, you are not the only person who does what you do. So making it very clear why you are the person that I should go to. That's positioning. That is you explaining what sets you apart, what makes you different from other people who do a similar thing to you. There are many women that speak about visibility, online visibility. There are many women who speak about LinkedIn, about email marketing, right? But I need to position myself in such a way that causes me to stand out, whether that is through your frameworks, through your package, the way in which you have stacked your offer, right? Having a offer ladder, or having the value suite. How have you positioned your offer and packaged it? You know, the framework, the approach to getting the result, is that compelling, right? A coach I work with, she says, like, you know, there's many ways that I could get a solution. If the way that I get you the solution is by slapping you in the face, is that compelling to you? Do you want to go that way? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But the way in which you package will differentiate you from somebody else. So Sally may be slapping someone in the face and getting results, right? You may just be working with a 3-step process. Hey, Sophros, good to see you. You may be working with a 3-step process that requires somebody to go visible, to go live every day. It requires them to send 500 outreach emails. It requires them to, post on socials every day. Does the approach align with the people that you're wanting to bring on as clients? So thinking about that, how is your offer different? And is the way in which you get the result compelling to the people that you want to work with? Some people would be like, yeah, slap me and give me the result. That's fine, right? So I hope I'm making sense when I say that. The way in which you get the result will be different to somebody else, and will be the reason why somebody works with you or the reason that somebody doesn't. Right? I had a client, well, a prospect rather. I was on a sales call with her, and I explained that my process when I work one-to-one with you, it's 4 months. So 1 month to on-ramp, build your strategy, and then 3 months to deliver and roll out that strategy. To her, that was too long. She didn't want to spend the 4 months. That's the way in which I operate. Somebody else who helps with visibility may do it for you in a month. Please go and work with them. Go and work with them, because I know I get the best results for somebody when I have that time to be able to embed your strategy, to be able to iterate, to be able to change up your content strategy the next month because we got the data from the month before, right? So I say that to say, having boundaries, having this is what I do, this is how I do it, and standing 10 toes down on that. Like, you can decide to work with me or not, but this is how we're going to do it. And then it's almost like, I'm the expert here. You've come to me for a solution. How can you tell me how it should be done? Right? I say that to say someone else will do it a different way, and that's okay. Let them do it that way. That's fine, because that means that that person isn't your ideal client. If they work with you, they're then going to become a problem, because in that particular client's mind, she's going to be thinking, oh, this is taking too long. I was expecting results in a month's time, and then now she becomes a problem in my life. I don't need problems. I don't need problems. Hey, Shan, good to see you. Shan says boundaries are important. Yeah, having boundaries, having your package built out and understanding why your package is set in the way that it is, so that you can almost, I don't want to say defend, because that sounds quite like you're being attacked, but to be able to justify why it is, because you're the expert, right? I know that I get the best results for people when I work with them over an extended period of time. Take it or leave it, right? So my point was around positioning, differentiating yourself from others. That is going to help you to increase the sales that you make, especially in Q4 when everybody else is making offers and selling as well. Guys, tap the screen as you are hearing what I'm sharing. Share it out if you've got a business bestie who needs to hear this information. So I've been sharing 3 reasons why most women are not selling, especially during busy sales opportunities like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, January sales. Because you have to plan for these things. You can't just pop up, throw an offer out and hope someone catches it. That's never going to work. Thank you for the roses with you, Mama. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Right, so what else? So showing up sporadically, right? You're here one day, you are not the next. You're here 1 month, you're not the next. If there's no consistency, especially if the person has to work with you in close proximity, it doesn't build trust. It doesn't bode well for them to take the next step to work with you. So if I just pop up during one of these busy selling periods and what I'm offering is a high ticket offer, so I want you to pay me, I don't know, upwards of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever that looks like, I need to trust that you're going to show up, that you're going to be consistent, that you're going to deliver the work, right? So being sporadic is going to undermine your efforts. And often we're sporadic because we don't have a plan. So we're doing the delivery, perhaps, for our existing clientele. So we're focused, we're head down. But the other things that I would call our business development, putting content out, sending emails, going live, recording videos, creating digital assets, those things take time. And because you don't have a plan to do that particular work, it falls by the wayside, it falls through the cracks. So that inconsistency and you being sporadic will happen. It's inevitable. You know, unless you have a team and you can outsource, you can delegate to other people to pick up those particular tasks, then yeah, that unfortunately is going to be something that's going to impact what you're hoping to achieve. It's going to impact you for sure. So yes, being sporadic. I always people feel like visibility is just about coming on here and doing a dance, put in daily content. But is the content moving your prospects along the buyer's journey? Is the content helping them to make a buying decision? Just putting content up for content's sake doesn't make sense. Because yeah, I'll see it and I'll think, oh yeah, that was nice. But is it going to prompt me to take my debit card out and to log on and to sign up and to book you to buy your product, to work with you? No. Especially when you have other people who have a plan and a strategy and they're not sporadic and they are giving value and, you know, they have a compelling offer. You're competing against those people, right? So yeah, visibility isn't just about coming online. It's about coming on with the right message, with the right positioning, with the right offer for the right people. Because if you haven't taken the time again to think about who has this problem, who's going to get the best results, who should I be speaking to, right? Then you end up just speaking into the void and speaking to everybody. Hey Debbie, good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah, you end up speaking to everybody. So having a visibility plan, like where are you going to be visible, and over what cadence are you going to be going live? Once a week? Is it 2 times a week? Are you sending email marketing? What's the cadence for that? What's your plan? If you don't have a plan, then as I said, you end up being sporadic. People then lose trust, lose credibility in you. And sometimes what you've done, you've almost stoked the fire, you've made them aware of the problem, and then they go and buy from your competitor. They go and buy from somebody else because you've been flaky. Yes, Rox, I know, right? Good to see you. Good to see you. I have been head down building my community. So yeah, TikTok has not seen me. So your girl is jumping back on to give some value. Oh, bless you. So I'm speaking about like 3 reasons that I see why people are not leveraging one of the biggest sales opportunities in Q4, right? So Q4, quarter 4, we've got Black Friday, we've got Cyber Monday, we've got Christmas, we've got January sales. But what happens is, because we do not plan for it, we either can't leverage it, so we don't put any offers out, or what we put out is pap. It's rubbish, right? We put out just this random, let me just quickly throw something out, quickly make an offer. People need to be warmed up. They need to be nurtured into a buying decision, right? So if you just decide to wake up and put out, hey Nicole, good to see you, put an offer out, and you haven't thought about the transformation, you haven't thought about even delivering the thing, because it's easy to put an offer out, it's easy to take people's money, but how are you going to deliver it now, right? You may make that sale, but you may never make another one from that person or anyone in their network, because you haven't thought about how we now deliver it, right? So these are the things that I need for us to kind of start to plan for. And as I was sharing, I did some research. Those big brands have already... Black Friday has been on their radar since November of last year, right? When you put in like John Lewis Black Friday 2025, there's a page, they have a page, they are capturing leads already. However, we think we can wake up on Black Friday and just draw out, I don't know, some old dusty offer and put that out and people are gonna buy. Unlikely, right? So I was sharing the second reason was all around not building trust, not being intentional, hiding in plain sight, not actually positioning yourself in good time, right? So let me give you reason number 3. Reason number 3, not sending enough emails, not going live, not putting out, I would say, video content. Those are reasons as well, perhaps, why you're not selling as much as you could be. Emails are an opportunity for you to nurture your leads outside of the busy algorithms, the busy platforms. And if you're not leveraging emails, you may have come across somebody and they're like, this person's incredible. And then you allow them to skip off into the sunset because you didn't have a mechanism to capture them, to nurture them from perhaps September, right up until when you drop your offer. Because you're kind of hoping that they're going to follow you and they're going to keep consuming your content, they're going to keep coming back. It's busy out here. So allowing them to skip off into the sunset is like having a bucket with a hole in, right? So those leads are just like literally falling out the bottom of the bucket. Whereas if you had a mechanism to capture those people, to continue the conversation, to continue to add value to them, then that is going to help you massively. In terms of going live, again, it's not about just vanity with these tools and features that social platforms give you. It really is about the opportunity to get visible. Visibility is what leads to sales. If you're not visible, as I said, you're the best kept secret. How can I buy from you? I know nothing about you. I don't know whether you know what you're talking about. It's easy to write a ChatGPT post. Like, come on. Answer some questions. Speak to people, right? Especially if the work that you're doing requires you to work in close proximity with those people. They want to get a feel for you. They want to know, like, this sounds really random and wild, but I'm going to say it. Like, your voice could be annoying. My voice could be annoying, right? So they're going to sign up to work with me for the next 4 months. And they're just like, you know what? I can't even deal with this woman. Like, that's like the worst scenario for them. They've made this investment and there's no connection. There's no resonance. Like, I just can't get a feel that for you from a post. So going live, it's not about coming on to do the latest dance trend, the latest, I don't know, whatever nonsense that is being done. It really is an opportunity for connection, for intimacy, for answering questions in real time, for sharing even, you know, whatever you're comfortable with sharing. You may be sharing a bit about, like, you know, what you did that day before you get into the content that you're answering, so people can get a feel for you and start to resonate with you. So yeah, emails, going live, recording videos, even like having a presence perhaps over on YouTube, which is longer form content. Think about it, right? With a reel, with a TikTok, how much can I get from you in 15 seconds? And how much of that would I need to consume to make a buying decision? I shared earlier that it takes between, 7 to 10 touch points before somebody makes a buying decision to buy from you, right? Those touch points are not just 10-second reels, right? You coming on with one tip is not going to be enough, I think, for somebody to make a buying decision to work with you. Long form content gives you that opportunity to showcase what you know, to help somebody with a quick win, to get a transformation from free content, or as Myron Golden calls it, community service content, right? So from that free piece of content, they're able to go away, implement your recommendation, and then they're like, oh my gosh, Nicole is incredible. Like, if I got this result from her free, let me check out her paid. Please make sure that your paid is different to what you've given for free. I have signed up for so many things because I've had that mindset. The free is so incredible. You sign up for the paid, you get inside, and it's no different. Thank you for the roses, my lovely. You get inside and it's a repeat of what you got for free. How frustrating. Like, I've invested my money expecting to go up to the next level. Hey, my Tony, good to see you. You've invested expecting to go up to the next level. So what I always say to people, when you are given this community service content, think of it like a cake, right? I'm not giving you the whole cake. And that's where I think people go wrong. They give so much free value, but now in the paid offer, they have no value. They have nothing to give. So rather than giving the whole cake, let me give you a sliver of the cake. Let me give you a framework, not all of my frameworks, right? Retain something so that the paid offer has some value, right? And you could give away all of the information that you have, but then inside, maybe what your focus is on is implementation, because that's where a lot of people struggle. So maybe that's where the value comes from. So I can give you all my stuff for free, but, you know, in terms of implementing, and to be fair, 80% of the people will never implement. So having maybe accountability, implementation, infrastructure in place in whatever your offer is, but you really have to think about how and what you're gonna do to get the result, so that people don't feel hoodwinked once they get inside of your paid offers. Guys, drop in the chat if you have any questions as I'm speaking. Please do drop them in the chat. I'll hoover them up as I'm going or towards the end of this. So sending emails, recording videos, going live, it really does make a difference. And doing that as we journey towards Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the things, right? Doing that consistently helps to build desire. It builds that there's one offer I can think of in particular that I've been sitting in her like lives, in her content, right? And I'm just like, oh, if she's gonna put out an offer, I'm there, because as I'm sitting and I'm hearing, and I'm growing in my trust in her and her offers. If she wasn't going live, if she wasn't putting content on YouTube, what would I have to cling on to? So make sure that you're giving people that opportunity, right? So if you haven't posted this week a video, if you haven't sent an email, if you haven't gone live, even the community, so the community that I launched probably 2-3 weeks ago is called the Build Room. That came about from me going live for 8 weeks straight. So every Saturday morning at 8 a.m, I would go live to deliver on a particular topic over on LinkedIn. So each week they were getting exposed to me. They were understanding how I deliver. They were understanding what I knew, and like building trust and like building a relationship with me, because I gave them that opportunity to come sit with me over 8 weeks. Each week they had an opportunity to jump into the community. The community hadn't been built. I pre-sold it, but they could get in, and each week the price was going up so they could get in. But I say that to say, if you haven't given FaceTime, right, you haven't shown your face, you haven't come on live, you haven't put out a video, you haven't sent any emails, like do that. Start there, like choose one of those things and like begin now, so that when November comes, you're not feeling like, oh, I've missed it again, or you don't jump in with something that's like half-baked, not really thought out, not planned for. So I say that to say, do the work early, start now. You have, even like with John Lewis's Christmas campaign, they are working on that. The minute the last one finishes, they start to plan for the one coming the next year. So these things take work, they take time. We're not at the John Lewis level, so no one's saying like plan for a whole year. There's no need to do that. But you do need to balance. We mentioned like you're delivering, you already have clients potentially. So you do need to plan to continue with that delivery, but also have a plan for new business, to bring in new business, to bring in new sales. And with Black Friday, Christmas, January sales, it's an opportunity to bring in cash quickly, right? To put out an offer, to maybe there's a program that you're sunsetting that you could reduce it to let people purchase it. Hey Rishma, how are you, lovely? How are you? Let me know how Rakaya's doing. Drop in the chat and let me know. Right, so there could be stuff that you're sat on that ordinarily, do you know, like when you go into Next in their January sales, you're almost sometimes like, where have they found this from? Like, I've not seen this in here for ages. So maybe there's some stuff that you have that's still valuable. You could still sell it. You just need to package it. Maybe you bundle a few of those offers together to make it more compelling for somebody to jump into. So let me know, what questions do you have? I would love to answer any questions that you have. I really just feel like we don't need to panic in November if we take action now, if we think about these things now. Somebody who's in business should be leveraging sales opportunities. it is competitive. So you do need to think about it. You do need to plan for it. On Monday, I am opening an early bird offer to support women who want to be able to sell effectively in Q4, who want to be able to build out their offers, to be able to start to get visible in preparation for when they're making those offers. So on Monday, there's an early bird offer that will be launched. So if you want to know more, if you're interested in how you could do this, how you can leverage the biggest sales opportunity that to me is happening for the year, right? I just feel like there's so many things that happen in Q4 as opposed to any of the other times of year. And once you learn how to do this, you could leverage this like at any point, right? So if you are interested, please do send me a DM. Just put in the word Q4. Just say the phrase Q4, and then once the landing page with the details. So basically it's a 3-day challenge with support from September the 8th right until November. So we'll be working together in a group format to build out your offer, to have a visibility plan, to create your sales assets so that you are ready for when these sales opportunities come. So if what you've heard, you want to know more, you want the details, feel free to DM me. Just say Q4 and you will get those details. The early bird offer opens on the 1st of September, so that's on Monday, and the actual challenge begins on the 8th. So the following week, the challenge begins. So it's a 3-day challenge with support that you can participate in from September right through to November. So guys, any questions, I would love to be able to answer, to be able to support you. Let me know. But yeah, guys, as I've said, there's an opportunity that is afoot. It just takes for us to plan, to prepare, to put things in place so that we're not caught unawares. We're not rushing to put together an offer that gets crickets and tumbleweed, and then you're thinking, oh, why didn't this work? Because you didn't have a plan, you didn't have a strategy, you didn't launch effectively, right? And that could be a service, it could be a digital product, it could be an online learning platform, whatever it is that you're selling. You really do have to put a plan in place to be able to do that effectively. So I don't see any questions, but feel free to send me a DM. I'll give a moment because I hate that when I'm typing out, you're quickly trying and then the person ends it. So I'll give a little bit of time for any questions to come through. But if you don't like asking your question on live, you can absolutely send me a DM. Drop the phrase Q4. I'll send you the details once they are available, or equally DM me your question. And I'm going to repurpose this onto YouTube. So if you are watching on YouTube and you have a question, you can put it in the comments, or you can find me over on LinkedIn or on Instagram. You'll find me by my name, Shalina Pitt. You will find me that way. All right, guys, I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this inspired you. Whether you participate in the challenge or not, get to work, because I don't want you leaving money on the table, missing out on opportunities that people who probably are not as qualified, not as skilled, not as integrous as you, they're leveraging it. They're making use of it. And I would just close with this. Sales is an opportunity to serve. That's what selling is. So this whole thing of I don't want to be salesy or I hate selling. Sales is your opportunity to serve people who have a challenge, a problem, or people who have an aspiration. They want to achieve something. They want to experience transformation. By you showing up, inviting them into an offer, inviting them to purchase from you, you are serving them and allowing them to get the transformation that they desire. So I hope that that reframe helped you when it comes to selling, when it comes to just see it as you are sharing and serving, and what you share and serve will not be for everybody, and that's okay. That is absolutely okay. All right, guys, take care. This has been awesome. Look out for me. I will be back on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. You'll see me in these digital streets. Take care. God bless you all.